Jennifer?
Cam, I am drinking a very lovely African nectar tea this morning.
Why are you drinking tea? Seriously? It's not morning anymore. It's afternoon.
Oh, well.
But why are you drinking tea?
I don't know. I'm
Do you
trying
want
to stay
coffee?
calm.
I know you and I. Actually, we drink a lot of tea.
We
don't
do.
Yeah, we drink. Anyways, everybody, welcome to another edition of Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam, and we are coming to you live from the Wall Coffee Roasters in the heart of
beautiful downtown Atchison.
That's right. So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, people talking, coffee machines whirring, it's because we're live in a coffee shop, and we're here at the Wall Coffee Shop.
I like how you said that.
Why? Huh?
Just
The Wall Coffee Shop?
The Wall Coffee.
Anyway, yeah.
The Wall Coffee Roaster.
And
shop.
I'd like to also say that it's a very sunny day here in Alberta because our listeners, we always tell you when it's snowing or stuff like that.
Well, we are your weather forecasters,
We are.
I feel.
We are the Alberta weather,
We are.
Edmonton, the beautiful downtown Atchison
Yes.
forecasters.
But it is a beautiful sunny day.
It is. It's like a spring day, but it's a little cool outside. But there is a forecast of snow coming up. So, anyways...
Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about that. Anyway, we also need to tell you that Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam is brought to you by Wing Snob, the best wings you are ever going to have.
Cam, where the wings are fresh, never frozen, with 16 different flavors, 4 different rubs, Parmesan fries, cornbread, the best.
Whole deal. And how many 10 locations.
10 locations.
New one in Grand Prairie, new one in Calgary. And if you have never been to Wing Snob, you got to go to Wing Snob because I'm not even kidding you. They are the best wings you are ever going to have. So check it out, www.wingsnob.ca. Find your location tonight. If you don't feel like cooking, you don't know what to get for the family, go to Wing Snob.
I don't feel like cooking. Maybe I'll get Wing Snob.
Are you going to Wing Snob?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I know, they're great Wingstop. And we are also brought to you by M-Print.
Our friends over at M-Print Sign and Print Solutions right here in Atchison for all of your printing needs. Cam, they are the preferred printer of Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam.
And they are amazing printers. Anything from business cards to books to pamphlets. They will even wrap your vehicle or... your helicopter if you own one.
Hey, we haven't talked about the helicopter in a while.
I know, we haven't brought up the helicopter, but they'll wrap it.
They will.
If you have one, they'll wrap it. I was wondering if they would wrap like a rocket. But anyway, I don't know where they get it.
We'll ask Jan.
Will you do a rocket? Because that'd be kind of cool. Anyway, M-Print, www.mprint.ca. CA, best printers you're ever going to find. I'm very excited. You don't know how excited I am about today's show. I am so excited.
You know, Cam, it's been a fantastic morning already because you and I moderated a fireside chat with none other than Teresa Spinelli, who was amazing.
Spinelli. Teresa Spinelli, the what is she? CEO,
President of the Italian
President.
Center.
She owns the Italian Center, and that's the best place in Edmonton for everything. And she brought you and I donuts, Italian Center donuts, and unbelievable. And yeah, so that was a pretty good, cool morning. But our guest today, I've known them for a very long time. I won't say how long, because then age starts getting into it and all that kind of stuff. Very long time. But they're amazing people, and I've looked forward to this for so long.
Listen, we've had them fly in.
Okay,
maybe not for the podcast, but they're here, so they're doing the podcast.
Other things. Yes. But they came for something else and agreed to be on our podcast, and I'm so excited. They flew in from Palm Springs, which is in, for those who don't know, California. Because there might be people.
You're right.
I think there's a Palm Springs, Florida.
Mm-hmm. There is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
anyway.
so it's good clarification.
So go ahead.
Okay.
Give her. Yeah.
Well, Cam, I have heard you talk about this woman so often, and I am absolutely honored that she agreed to be on this podcast. Our guest today is none other, and I'm going to have her give her title because it is very prestigious.
Okay.
Georgialee Lang.
Georgialee.
Welcome, Georgialee.
Welcome, Georgialee.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's so good to have you here. I haven't seen you guys for so long.
It's been a while.
It's been exciting. What is your title? Do you have a title?
Well, I'm an attorney.
Yes.
And an arbitrator.
Right.
And I have a law practice in Vancouver, BC.
Right. Vancouver. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I guess title lawyer.
Yes.
Who owns a law firm.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And so that's cool.
It is.
Okay, go at it.
Let's take it back to the beginning.
Yes.
Georgialee, where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in New Westminster.
No.
And was born and raised in New Westminster and lived there until I was about, 20 or so.
Really?
Yeah.
I lived in New West.
Did you?
Yeah, twice. I really liked it. It was a great place.
What address did you have there?
Oh,
Do you
Now she's
remember?
putting you on the spot.
but the first one was right across from Queen's Park. I lived right across from Queen's Park.
Oh, that's a nice location.
Yeah, that was a beautiful location.
Yes.
And the second one was next to the Safeway.
The Safeway where downtown?
Not the downtown Safeway, the other Safeway.
Okay, on 6th Street.
On 6th Street. She knows where I live. I don't even know where I live.
Yeah.
She knows where I live. Yeah, I really like New West.
Yes.
To me, it was a small town feel.
Yes.
Right next to Vancouver.
Right.
And so, if you didn't want the hustle and bustle of Vancouver, you had New West.
Yeah. Well, I'm a creature of New West.
Yeah.
In fact, I was selected Miss New Westminster.
Come on, you were
No.
not.
And or as they like to call the city of New Westminster, the Royal City. So
Yes,
Miss Royal City.
that's right.
Yeah.
Georgialee, was there a pageant?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Were you the May Queen?
No, I wasn't. I was a flower girl. We danced the
okay.
maypole in
Yeah,
Westminster.
Yeah.
See, only those who live in New West would know about the May
That-
Queen. And
that's
my
true.
daughter was a princess or whatever you call
yes.
them. She danced around that.
Yeah.
Okay, and you were Miss New West.
I was Miss New Westminster. That's
Did
right.
you go to New West High?
I did go to NWSS.
NWSS?
Yes.
I know NWSS well. I think they tore it down now, did they?
Yeah, that's right.
They
They
built a
have.
new one there.
They have.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow, this is like old home days. This is kind
Sure.
of exciting.
Yeah, I had no idea that you had a connection to New Westminster.
My favorite Greek restaurant was in New West on
On Columbia Street.
No,
No,
on 6th.
6th.
Well, there was a nice one on Columbia too.
Yeah.
But on 6th, that other one on 6th. Anyway, 6th and 6th. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So this is just like,
I know.
It's like old home days.
Right? Cam's reminiscing. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Georgialee, what did your parents do? Why New West?
Oh, okay. Well, my dad was born and raised in Port Moody.
Oh, yeah.
And he left school at about the age of 14 to work in the large cedar mill in Port Moody.
Oh, yeah.
And he met my mother, who was an immigrant from Amsterdam.
Oh.
And they got married and
Yeah.
eventually had 8 children.
8.
Yes.
Okay.
You have 8 siblings.
Yes.
Wow.
And where do you fall in the sibling rank?
I have 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
And then I'm the oldest sister. There's 4 girls and 4 boys. Yeah. But eventually my dad wanted to buy a home.
Yeah.
And for the princely sum of
Are
$11,000,
you kidding me?
he bought a home in New Westminster
Are you kidding
on
me?
London Street.
On London Street. I remember London Street.
Yes.
Listen, you're not getting a home in BC now for that price.
$11,000. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even get you'd get nothing.
No,
Zero.
you can't even get a tent.
Yeah,
No.
that's right. You couldn't even get a tent in the middle of the street. That would cost you. Okay, so wow, that's 11,000. But was it a big house?
Yeah, because there was that time when we moved in, there wouldn't have been 8 of us. There was probably 6 kids then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Big family.
Yes.
That's incredible. And did you like being in a big family? Was that a good thing? Was that a bad thing? Was it a...
Well, it was. I didn't really. I wasn't able to ascertain whether it was good or bad.
Right,
it was just
right.
the.
It was just your family.
It was the way it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the way it was.
Cool. Huh. Okay.
So all through high school, then you're obviously a lawyer now. Is that what you wanted to do? Did you have a sense growing up that I'm going to be a lawyer?
No, not at all. When I was quite young, I started taking singing lessons, and I trained in opera and oratorio, and so that was a possibility. I also was very passionate about journalism. So I wrote. There was a newspaper in New Westminster called the Columbian.
Yes.
I wrote.
Yes.
I wrote for that newspaper. I was editor of my high school newspaper, and in fact, I had a column in my high school newspaper
Really?
called Barb Wire. Even then, I was
Barb Wire.
willing to shake things up a bit.
Yeah. And so what was barbed wire?
Yes, what was it about?
Oh, barbed wire was, critique of the school, the community, the teachers.
So
Teachers,
you were actually writing
Yeah.
columns critiquing the school and the teachers.
Yes.
And how did that go over?
Well, it seemed to be fine. Nobody stopped
She
me.
didn't fail.
No.
She didn't
In fact,
wow.
in fact, I graduated with a journalism scholarship and a voice scholarship.
Okay, I just want to say for the record that I have heard Georgialee sing on many occasions, and it's very true. She has an amazing, amazing voice. and she would sing in church on Sundays, and it was incredible. And I would close my eyes, and it was like an angel was singing, and I was in heaven. You were amazing.
Yeah.
Are amazing.
Well, I was very blessed. When I was about 10 years old, our church organist heard me sing and said to my mother, I'd like to give Georgialee singing lessons.
Right.
And my mom said, that's fine, but we can't afford that.
Yeah.
So she taught me for 10 years with at no cost.
Really?
And from there I went to first year college and majored in vocal performance.
So, did you not go into professional singing? Like, I don't know if that's the right word. Did you feel there was no
career
opportunities?
Well, my teachers, my vocal teachers, said that they thought that I had a good chance of making a career in singing, but I would have to go to Europe. To one of the small community theaters or opera houses, and that wasn't in the cards for me because my family, my dad worked in a lumber mill.
Right.
My mom didn't work at all, and so our resources were very limited.
Right.
Sure,
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So journalism, that's pretty incredible. I still can't get over the fact you wrote a column criticizing
the teachers.
Did the teachers ever get mad at you? Did they ever
no?
Did they ever pull you aside?
No.
And
I mean, of course, there was an overseer, one of the journalism teacher,
sure.
And he would have probably edited something if he thought it was inappropriate. But it was a fun column to write.
Do you think you'd get away with that in this day and age?
Well, it really depends on the school.
True enough.
Compliment.
Yeah. Well, okay, fascinating.
Yeah.
So you went to journalism school?
No, I went to Douglas College in New Westminster, and I started studying. They had just started a music department, and so I was studying music.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did you graduate?
I spent a year there.
Okay.
And it came in handy though, because when I finally actually went to university, I had 1 year credits from Douglas College, which were transferable, because then I went to Simon Fraser University.
Oh, Simon Fraser.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with those credits, I was able to do my undergraduate degree, my BA, in 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, so I went back to back, one semester after another, 6 semesters, and graduated with my degree.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. And then you had your undergrad degree, and then where did you go?
Well, I applied to law school.
At UBC?
Yes, at UBC.
University of British Columbia.
That's right,
Okay.
yeah. And happily enough, I was accepted. So I started going to law school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that?
Yes.
Wow.
And you asked, whether that was a goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. When I was in Simon Fraser, I went back to university when I was 30, and everybody in my class was 20.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was very lucky because I didn't look 30, so nobody knew that I was a mature student.
Right.
But a lot of those young people were writing their LSAT and talking about law school.
Yeah.
And I'd never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Because my dad had a grade 8 education.
Yes.
Right.
My mother was educated in Europe, which is an enhanced education, but no university.
Yeah.
I was the first person in my family to graduate from high school.
Right. Wow.
I was the first person in my family to go to college.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't in the cards.
Right. So singing, journalism,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden law.
Yes. Yeah.
And why? Just
Well, it was interesting. I thought when I got my degree at Simon Fraser that I would go into teaching.
Oh, okay.
But there was a real problem in teaching. They weren't hiring teachers.
Yeah.
Teachers were getting laid off.
Right.
And I thought, well, that would be really silly to spend another year to get a teaching degree.
Yeah.
So I applied to law school,
Huh.
not knowing that it would just come natural to me and that I would
Really?
be very successful and
Yeah.
loved what I was doing.
So was that another 4 years? Was
Yeah,
that,
3 years at UBC Law School, and
Yeah.
then a year of articling. That was another 4 years.
and did you article in Vancouver?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I articled at a prestigious Vancouver firm, but they were mostly solicitors. And if you know, solicitors do draft contracts.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't go to court a lot.
Right.
Okay.
And I already knew that I was going to be a trial lawyer.
You wanted to be in court.
Yeah, I wanted to be in court.
Law and order.
That's right.
Yeah.
Law
yeah.
and order.
Well, she wanted to be in court.
Yeah,
I
that's
watch
right.
Law and Order every week. Perry
Where-
Mason.
where-
Yeah.
My favorite. Yeah. Okay.
So after I left that firm,
Yep.
my articling firm, because they weren't going to be able to give me what I needed as far as my goals.
Right.
And then I got hired by a international blue chip law firm in Vancouver.
Oh.
And the reason I went there was because they had a family law department. I wanted to do family law.
yes.
But by the time I got there, they had fired everybody in the family law department.
Oh dear.
The
Was it? I was going to say.
Is that a red flag?
Yeah, is that
that-
a red flag? Or
Well, what's
was that
inter-
an opportunity? Was
Well,
that?
it turned out to be a real opportunity
Right.
because I was now working there, and within the first couple of months, I said to one of my mentors there, I said, I'd really like to do family law, and I was working with a great lawyer who did wills and estates, which is probably the closest thing to family law. You're dealing with
Yeah,
families,
of course.
Families
yeah,
and wills.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I'm happy to work with you. I'm looking forward to it. But can I just, on the side of my desk, see if I can start a family law practice for this firm?
Really?
And it was a bit of a no-brainer because
Yeah.
they had, and by the way, this was a large firm
Right.
then, but it was about 110 lawyers were at this firm.
Okay.
And I sent an email to everybody in the firm the next day and said, I'm Georgialee Lang. I'm going to start a family law practice. So if you've got clients that need those services, please let me know.
I love that. This is what I love about Georgialee.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just sent an email to everybody in the firm
Yeah.
and said, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
That's great.
it was very successful, but I got very lucky. I made connections with the media.
Oh, okay.
And so I was sort of a regular guest on television
Yes.
and radio.
CKNW.
Exactly.
CKNW.
Yeah. Rafe Mayer, I can name all the
Rafe Mayer, I
all
remember
the hosts.
listening to you.
Christy Clark,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, Christy.
Yes.
Bill Good.
Yeah, Bill Good.
I did all those shows,
Yes.
and then I did a lot of stuff on television as well. Because when there's any time there was sort of a family law related
Right.
event or issue,
Yeah.
they would call me, and I'd go down to the studio, or they'd come to my office, and we'd do interviews.
You were the expert.
Yes, exactly.
So I remember, because I lived in Vancouver, and this is where I got to know Doug and Georgialee, and I can remember driving along, listening to CKNW, and they'd be like, and after this commercial, it'll be Georgialee Lang. And I would get so excited.
Really?
because I'm like, I know her.
Yeah.
I know her.
Well, what's interesting is that after I'd done a lot of that, I got offered my own radio show.
Did you really?
Yeah,
did?
And I thought seriously about doing it, but it would eliminate me being able to go to court because they wanted me to do a morning show
Right,
Oh,
right.
yes.
from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Can you say the station?
Yeah, it was CKVU.
CKVU. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I connected with them because they then started, when they heard me on NW
Right,
and other
right.
stations, they invited me to do their shows, and those shows were mostly political shows, which I really enjoyed.
Yes.
And so that was what they offered, and I turned that down
Right.
because I was
Yeah.
that I wasn't going to do that.
Okay, so when did you? Now there must have come a point where you thought, okay, I'm working for this large firm.
Yes.
I'm doing a lot of family
Right,
law.
right.
But I think I can do this on my own.
Yeah. Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah, tell us.
So, large firm, wealthy corporate clients.
Yeah.
And what started happening, Cam and Jennifer, was that a senior partner would say, I have a very highly valued client coming in. Their daughter's going through a divorce.
Right.
Can you meet us in the boardroom and answer all her questions? So I would do that.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the interview, the senior partner would say, okay, and we'll refer you to somebody outside of the firm.
Oh.
Because the big blue chip firm didn't want family
want-
law.
Right.
Because nobody wins in family
That's
law.
right. You don't want
It's
to tick
true.
them off.
And so,
Nobody does.
and they
Yeah,
wanted to,
that's right,
they wanted
yeah.
to maintain their corporate business. And so I started noticing that while I was giving them all this advice, they were sending them outside the firm to
Okay,
hire
yes.
a lawyer.
Right.
So at 5 years, I decided to open my own firm.
Right.
And and so that
Yeah.
was 32 years ago.
Okay, so I want to hear a little more about this, but I want to tell people before we go any further that Georgialee is in the country of Canada, a very distinguished lawyer. How many times have you argued before the Supreme Court of Canada?
4 times.
Four times. You
times.
stood there in front of all those guys and women in those robes.
Yeah. What is
the red robes?
I know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
What is amazing is that family law cases rarely go to the Supreme Court of Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did 3 family law cases, and one of the most interesting cases I did, I was asked by the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada to represent them at a case that was in the Supreme Court of Canada, where a professor from a law school in Toronto was challenging the law, and he was trying to overturn the law and make prostitution legal in Canada.
Really?
And the Evangelical Fellowship retained me to rebut that argument.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just ask you, was that was it scary going before? Like, were you the first time you went before all those justices? Was that scary? Were you scared?
I'd be scared.
I'd be scared.
Yeah. No, I was excited.
Really?
And it really honed my skills as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because there, it's much more solemn. You just don't rattle off things quickly.
Right.
You have to take your time, but you're limited. You get an hour to make your submissions. But I learned a lot from doing those cases.
I would think very few lawyers in the scope of things, very few lawyers get to actually argue
in front of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's very rare. You know what was unique was that the week before I was arguing one of my first cases, I had been singing the O Canada and God Save the Queen at a gala event, about 1,000 lawyers and judges in Vancouver, and sitting 10 feet away from me was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada, because she was the guest speaker, Madam Justice McLaughlin. And so I was standing right in front of her, singing to her, and about 4 days later, I was standing in the.
What a story!
Did she say anything?
She was lovely. Doug, my husband Doug, came to Ottawa with me. And after I finished, he said, "Gosh, they were smiling at you. They were so nice." So it was. So I always, though, that really set the tone for me in that court.
Can I just say, if I was at that time a Supreme Court justice and I had already heard Georgialee sing, it would have been a slam dunk. She would have won, right? Just because she's an amazing singer, you won. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Because I say that in all.
It's rare.
Yes. In all due respect.
Yeah.
Because again, not everybody gets
very
to
impressive.
do that.
No.
It's like, So that's pretty cool. Okay. So you go ahead. So.
Well. I want to ask her a question, because we've mentioned it, and she's mentioned her husband, Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your husband, Doug. How did you meet Doug?
Okay. Well, before I went back to school, I was working in the restaurant business in Vancouver. And there was a lovely restaurant on Main Street called Puccini's.
Puccini's.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was one of the only non-Italian girls that was hired there. Yeah. They were all Italian women that worked there.
Yeah.
And the Vancouver Police Department, their headquarters was about a block away from Puccini's.
Yeah, the street there,
And the guys that owned the restaurant had a back room, and they would invite the police to come and have dinner there. And the way it worked is that they would flip double or nothings. One time the police paid, one time the restaurant paid. And the girls would take turns waiting on this back table.
Right.
So one evening, it was my turn to wait on them.
Yeah.
And most of the girls were very gaga over all the guys. But I was a little
in uniform.
I was a little standoffish.
This is great.
And Doug was there with my husband Doug Lang was there, and his sergeant was with him. There's about 5 police officers in uniform. And his sergeant looked at me and said, "My friend would like to take you skiing." And I looked at the sergeant and I looked at Doug, and I said, "Okay." So about 4 days later, we went night skiing at Grouse Mountain.
Yeah.
And
you and Doug.
Me and Doug.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best dates either of us had ever had.
Wow.
Yeah. And from there,
did you know at that moment did you know? Was this is going to be the guy? Or
yeah,
did your lawyer analytical mind kick in and you had to?
Yeah. Well, of course, I wasn't a lawyer then. This is before.
Right.
This is before
okay, before.
Yeah.
Okay, so forget the lawyer analytical mind part.
Exactly.
He was just a hunk in uniform.
Yeah. Exactly. That's how we met and dated. And unfortunately, our dating, we dated for about 3 months. And then I left the restaurant business and got hired as a flight attendant, and I was transferred to Toronto.
What?
Oh.
Okay.
And in those days, there was no text or email. So we wrote long letters to each other.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to be honest here. I know Doug. He's a great guy. I love Doug. He's
Yeah.
awesome. Doug's about 7'14". Like he's so big. He's tall. And I don't know why. I think that's interesting. Doug, don't tell us what was in the letters, but I mean,
no.
Was he a romantic at heart? Was he?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. This is good. I can already wait to see him. This is really good.
Yeah.
But he's such a nice guy. But yeah, okay. Yeah. So you were writing letters.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, we split up.
And who did the splitting?
He did.
Serious?
What?
Mm-hmm. I'll have a word with him.
Yeah, and I was absolutely devastated.
Yeah.
And so we split up, and I eventually left the airlines. It was Ward Air, by the way.
Ward Air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ward Air from Alberta.
Yeah, who got bought out by CP Air.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. It was Ward Air. And so that...
Did you stay in Toronto?
No, what happened was, as soon as I got to Toronto, I was desperate to get back to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I lobbied religiously to get back here.
Right.
And lo and behold, they said, sure, we'll give you a West Coast base. You're going to Edmonton.
Not quite the West Coast.
It was
Vancouver, Edmonton.
It was the middle of winter.
Oh, yes.
And I decided I wasn't going to live in Edmonton.
Right.
So what I did was I got an apartment on Kitsilano Beach in Vancouver, and I commuted to my flights.
Right.
Pacific Western was the small airline, and of course, as a flight attendant, we could fly for free on any airline.
Of course.
And I would commute to Edmonton, and then I didn't have a place here. Sometimes I had to come in the night before, and I would stay at the YWCA downtown Edmonton.
Really?
Yep. Seriously.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was a flight attendant for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toronto and Edmonton.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Ward Air shut down.
No.
No. You just decided time to move on.
Yeah. Well, there was more to it. I actually got fired.
Oh. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh but what did you do, Georgialee?
Well, what I did was, when I filled out the application form to be a Ward Air flight attendant, there was a question. It said, do you have a criminal record? And I knew that if I told the truth, because I did, that I wouldn't get the job. So I wrote no on the application form, and I got hired right away. Somebody obviously figured out
Squealed on you.
who I was and told Ward Air in Toronto.
And they fired you.
And they fired me, yeah.
Did you know the criminal record piece?
I didn't. Again.
Your face right now.
No, because I've known them for such a long... And like I said to Georgialee today, I've never really heard her whole story. So, okay, so, all right. So...
Do you even know where to go with this?
No, I don't know where to go. This is why normally I know where to go.
Yeah.
Okay. You got fired. You're living in Vancouver.
Yes, I was living in Vancouver. Yeah.
All right. Because here's where my brain's going.
Okay.
Is you became a lawyer, but you had a criminal record. Are you allowed to do that?
Well, that was another hoop that I had to go through.
Right.
So as I mentioned, I went to Simon Fraser.
Yeah.
And everybody was applying to law school, and I thought, looks good, sounds good, I'll do that too. I remember I was in third year law when I saw the documents that I would have to fill out for the Law Society. And I went to one of my professors who I thought would be encouraging and comforting.
Right. Yeah.
He looked at me and said, "How could you ever think you could be a lawyer?"
Really?
Yeah. That's what he said to me. And
the kind of person,
yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, he became a judge.
Oh.
What was really interesting is that because he was so dismissive,
Yeah.
I appeared in front of him a couple of times.
Yeah.
And one day I got a call from my aunt in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
My aunt in New Zealand was also a lawyer. And there was a big conference in New Zealand, and she sent me a letter very excitedly that she had met, and she named this law professor who'd become a judge. Oh. He was one of the guest speakers. Oh. And he couldn't brag enough about me to her.
Funny how the tables turn.
Yeah, no now I'd practiced law for 15 or 20 years. Yeah. And so my aunt called me and she said, "Boy, you sure made an impression on this judge."
Right.
So he was the one that said, "No, you can't do this." So what happened was I had to go before the Law Society, and I had to give them references. I had to explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they did a hearing. The hearing took less than 5 minutes. I walked into this room at the Law Society building. There were 3 lawyers there. I wish I knew who they were, but I didn't. I don't remember. And they asked me one question and made one comment. The question was, what was the question? The question was, "How old are you?" And I was 35.
Yeah.
I said 35. And the comment was, "Oh, you don't look 35." And then it was over. And I was
That was it.
That was it.
That was the whole thing.
Did you walk out going, "Well, that didn't go well," or
no? I walked out thinking
that was great.
That was to them, for them to just ask one question, and then compliment me on my youthfulness. I was.
That's bonus.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
So how long did it take for them to decide?
Not long. And it's funny. My husband was in his Corvette sitting outside the Law Society building, praying for me the whole time I was there.
His red vet.
No, he had a silver vet then.
Oh, silver vet. Okay.
Yeah.
I only remember the red vet.
Yeah. Anyway, I went out and I said, "This is what they did." And so within a week they said, yeah, you're going to be a lawyer.
Wow.
Okay. So I want to take a step back, something very important. How did you split up with Doug? Or
Yes.
Doug split up with you?
Yes.
No, he split up with
That's
her.
what I said.
Yeah.
Doug split up
I
with
know.
Yeah.
So how did you get back together?
Yeah, important.
Well, unfortunately,
He realized the error in his ways?
well, it's something like that. Unfortunately, we were then not together for 3 years, but I didn't know this, but he was kind of keeping tabs on me. As a police detective.
He wasn't doing surveillance on you, was he, Georgialee?
No, but he was, making inquiries.
That car sitting outside your house every day?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, anyway.
So he was, sort of making subtle inquiries.
Right.
And unfortunately, in the 3 years that we were not together, I got married.
Okay.
Hey.
And that was a disaster.
Okay.
And we separated within 12 months.
Wow, okay.
And from there, I was living with my first husband in Maple Ridge.
Right.
And I immediately moved to Vancouver. And it was after I got divorced that I felt my life really crashing.
Yeah.
I'd lost my job. I was fired from Wardair. I had no job. I had no money.
Yeah.
I had virtually no education except a year of classical vocal training.
Yeah, right.
Not something you can actually walk in and make
Not a lot of want
a good living.
Paper,
But I sort of kept my chin up. But I started going. I went back to church. I'd gone to church as a kid.
Right.
So I went back to church at about the age of 30. So this was 5 years before we split up.
Yeah.
And I went to law school. And let me just get my train of thoughts here. Yes. So I had a very identifiable little red British sports car. It was a Triumph Spitfire.
Oh yeah.
And I started skiing, and I was driving down West Broadway, and of course I didn't have a ski rack, so I just put them out the window.
That's awesome. awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
and like I said, Doug knew that car because I'd had that car when we were.
Yeah.
He knew. Well, I'd had that car when we were dating.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I got pulled over, and it was Doug Lang. It was Doug Lang. Yeah. And it was about 2 weeks before my 30th birthday, and the day of my birthday, he sent me 24 red roses. And then we were back together.
See, he knew.
Yeah, we were back together.
He knew, right? He knew he made a mistake.
He knew he made a mistake.
That's right.
Yes.
3 years he had to live with that. Okay.
Well, let me tell you why he broke up with me. Because one of his fellow police officers showed him my mugshot.
Oh, your record.
Come on.
I kid you not.
That's low.
Yeah.
That's really low.
It is. Showed him my mugshot, and he of course he was a junior. He was a young police officer at the time.
Yes.
He was freaked out.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
He was freaked out.
Okay.
And so
but he got over that.
Well, it took him 3 years.
Yeah. He should have talked to somebody about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have gone for help. I don't know. But anyway, 3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
He got over it.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And then you got together.
Yeah, we got back together.
Married.
Yeah, that's right.
You went to law school.
That's right.
You became an awesome lawyer. You have your own law firm.
Yes.
We should read your bio because you've
Oh my gosh.
You've written articles. You do everything. You're amazing. And I'm going to dare to say, and I'm not asking you to agree or disagree with this statement. I believe it to be true from what I've read and heard. You would be considered one of the top family law lawyers in the country, without a doubt.
Well,
without a doubt.
I'm humbled by that, but I've been told that, and I've been ranked in that position. So
and you obviously worked very hard at this.
Yeah, because you know what I didn't know was that I would absolutely love practicing law. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I was just voracious in reading every case. Yeah. In just doing. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, I know some of the story, and it's absolutely incredible. And you are sought after, even though you live in the winter down south.
Yes, I
and in Kelowna in the summer.
Yeah, what's interesting?
You still work in Vancouver.
I do, and what's interesting is when my colleagues, my legal colleagues, learned that I was now going to spend 6 months in the desert, they thought I was retiring.
Right.
But I was just commuting.
Yeah. You were just commuting.
I like that.
Just
commuting from Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I like that. We're just commuting from Palm Springs.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so I did spend a lot of time going back and forth, on WestJet to get to Vancouver. And, my office was across from the courthouse.
Right.
We still had a home in West Vancouver.
Yes.
But I didn't even stay at the house. I would stay at the Wedgwood or the Sutton Place Hotel
because that was right across
right
from
downtown,
the law court.
and right across from my office. Yeah.
So at its peak, how many lawyers did you have working?
Five.
With you?
Five. Yeah.
And all family law.
Yes, that's right. And of course, other paralegals and legal assistants, and so there'd be about 10 or 12 employees. Yeah.
It's incredible.
I know.
Yeah.
It really is.
I know. I'm in awe of her.
I am too. I always have been. It's amazing. There was a time. I'm going to say that. Understand how I say this, and I'll clarify it. So I was a little afraid of Georgialee because she was very confident. She listen. I'm not afraid in the sense that I had reason to be.
No,
I just thought, boy, oh boy, I don't want to break the lock.
And word on the street is she drives Harleys.
They did.
Yeah,
I know.
Had Harleys.
Yeah, so Doug rode motor. Doug started out in the police department on the motorcycle team,
he was a
right?
motor cop,
and he was in the drill team, and he was the split bike.
Oh,
when they go crazy down the road, and he goes down the middle. That was Doug.
Okay.
So. And he used to go to Sturgis, Sturgis, South Dakota.
South Dakota, yes.
And I went to Sturgis with him, and of course I was riding on the back of his bike then.
Right.
And I saw all kinds of women riding their own Harleys.
Yeah.
So when I came back to Vancouver, I got a Harley.
I
And I took the lessons out at Boundary Bay. and got a Harley-Davidson. Started with a small one and then got a 1200 Sportster.
1200. I remember that Sportster.
Screaming Eagle.
I remember
Screaming
that.
Eagle.
You had your side bags on it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
White, right?
Yes.
Yes, it was a white.
It was white and sort of a bluey gray.
Because I remember one day you pulled up in that.
Okay.
You and Doug.
Yeah.
And I was in awe.
Yeah.
First of all, I always wanted a Harley. This is my dream. I've always wanted a Harley.
Oh, really?
But the fact that you were driving a Sportster, and I just thought, I want one. She has one, I want one.
Yeah. So eventually, when we started going down to the desert, we had 2 motorcycles down there and 2 motorcycles at Predator Ridge. Yeah.
She's a Harley driving lawyer.
Yeah.
Did you ever drive the Harley to court? This is what I want to know.
No, I didn't.
That would have been great.
That wouldn't that have been? That would have been. They should have done a TV show.
Well, you know what? The only reason I didn't was that my law office was right across from the courthouse.
Yeah, I can walk over.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think this morning I recommended to someone they should write a book. I'm recommending you do a TV show called The Harley Lawyer. This would be a fun
I agree.
Okay. All right. So we got to get going here. So this is wonderful. You are so accomplished. You have written so many articles. You have worked with, and again, I'm not asking who, but you have worked with some very high-profile clients.
That's right.
And you're very well respected. You're not retired. You're living in the desert. You're living in Kelowna.
Yes.
Have you slowed down?
I'm a little choosier. I pick and choose my clients.
Yeah.
I don't have a caseload like I did when I was going full tilt.
Right.
At one time, when I left that blue chip law firm,
Yeah.
I took 100 clients with me.
Wow.
And they were happy for me to take them because they never really wanted to do family law, remember?
Right, yeah.
And I stayed there 5 years. And so when I told them that I really needed a new challenge, they were gracious and wonderful. In fact, they sort of made me their go-to for family law. So I kept doing a lot of work for them. And just to give the firm a plug, it was Borden Ladner Gervais.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A multinational firm and just wonderful people to work with. And I learned so much from being there.
I know that law firm actually. Not because I needed a law firm.
Yeah.
I had a friend who worked in IT at the time.
Okay.
And he sold Blackberries.
Oh, okay.
Blackberries came out.
Yes.
And he tried to get that law firm because that's who bought Blackberries
Yes,
first.
at the time.
Was lawyers.
Right, that's right.
Because they thought they were the best.
Secure.
Yeah, they were cool. Anyway, okay. All right. Okay, so this is cool. So you're not retired. You still have your law practice.
Yes.
You're living in the desert. You're living in Kelowna.
She's living her best life,
You
Cam.
are living your best life.
Yes.
And on top of all of that, you're an amazing singer. And on top of all of that, you're an amazing person.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Cam.
You really are, Georgialee.
I know, she really is.
And we've run out of time.
Yeah.
And I know we could probably do like part 1, 2, 3, 5, 9 of this podcast.
Yes.
We have one final question for
We
Georgialee,
do have
though.
one final question. That's where I'm heading, yeah.
Yes.
But I'd just like to say, maybe we could start a law podcast. Not that we know anything, but we could just have Georgialee talk. Anyway,
don't ask us for advice.
No, don't ask us. She could talk about Harleys and law. Anyway, but we'd always ask one final question.
Georgialee, what is the best piece of advice you've been given, either personally or professionally, that you carry with you to this day?
Well, it came from my husband. And when I was running my law firm and had, full complement of staff, I was always very focused. So I'd get into the office, I'd go straight into my office, and I'd work and come out when I was finished working. And Doug said to me, you have to walk the ship. You can't isolate yourself in your office.
Right.
You have to connect with your employees because in the beginning I didn't do that much. I was just so focused on getting the work done and getting on with it. And so he said to me, you have to walk the ship. You have to go into everybody's office, greet them, say good morning. And so that was great advice on how to manage people and run a law firm.
Amazing.
Great advice. Kind of ties in with some of what we heard this morning.
It did, absolutely.
At our event this morning with Lisa Spinelli.
Yeah.
Because she talked about that relationship with your employees.
Yes,
Right.
It's critical.
How key that is.
Yes.
And I would imagine some of the lawyers who worked with you were younger.
Oh,
looked
yes.
to you as a mentor.
Oh, they all were.
Yeah.
I hired junior lawyers. Yeah.
So, and I mean, good for Doug, but good for you, because it would have probably been easy to say, no, this is the way I am, this is what I do. But you took that.
No, I understood that, and I realized, obviously there was turnover of staff over the years, And when I looked back on my original staff, I realized that I didn't know how many kids they had. I didn't know what their husband did.
Right.
And so I changed all that. And much for the better.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, we could do part 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 of this, but Georgialee, you are. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. Doug's coming on the podcast.
That's right.
So we're gonna talk to him and give him the gears about
breaking
up
with
years.
you.
That's right.
Yes.
Anyways, you are an amazing person.
Thank you very much.
You're an amazing person of faith. You're an amazing person in your career, and you're just an all-around amazing person. And I know one thing for sure. I know this because I would imagine, as a family law lawyer, you see a lot of heartbreak.
Oh yes.
A lot of pain.
Yes.
And you're not just somebody, I think, who just closes the book and walks on.
No.
You care.
Yes, I do.
You do. You care about people.
I do.
And I think that's what makes you so amazing at what you do.
Yeah. Thank you, Cam.
No, thank you. This has been just an
great.
absolute honor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Georgialee.
thanks, Jennifer.
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite podcasts. I gotta say, because you're my friend.
Yeah.
And I love you guys to death. So thanks for doing this.
Well, thank you.
So thanks, everybody.
Check out Wingsnob tonight for supper.
Yeah, www.wingsnob.ca. Take all your printing needs over to Imprint if you need them.
That's right.
And oh, by the way, make sure you tell somebody about the podcast. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, tell your coworker, tell your enemies. And if you don't have a friend, make a friend just so you can tell them about the podcast.
And don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss an episode.
That's right. It'll pop up right on your phone there, and then you'll go, yeah, Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam. I want to do it. This is great. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.